Today I fucked up by forgetting my gender. Fair warning, I am typing this one-handed and my tab is heavy, so there may be some mistakes. I apologize in advance for them. So this happened a few hours back. I was recently diagnosed with COVID and then hospitalized because there was blood in my phlegm because of slightly increased lung infection. So anyway, before they gave me some injections, the nurses asked me to tell them if I experienced some bleeding because of the injections. I asked, bleeding from where, sir? Because I thought I would be bleeding from nose or mouth or God forbid eyes or ear. He looked at me pointedly with an eyebrow raised. This is when I remembered that I am a female who, by biology, is obligated to bleed from my privates, or as many romance authors put it, my love channel. TLDR, in all the hub of corona, I forgot that I am a female and can bleed, and am Superman, P. That's a bit awkward I suppose, but I fail to see how it is a fuck up. At that moment I thought vaginal bleeding was obvious, but now I see that the nurse foo and not just my tired brain. Till you can experience bleeding because of injections, can any doctors confirm/explain? COVID can cause blood clots, so can being hospitalized and sitting in a hospital bed all day without getting up and moving around much. As such, OP was started on injectable blood thinning medications, likely a low molecular weight heparin called enoxaparin or Lovenox, to prevent blood clots while she was in the hospital. Because of how these medications work to prevent unwanted clots, they can also prevent wanted blood clotting, such as what happens when you cut yourself. As such, patients on these medications are at risk for bleeding from just about anywhere. Vaginal bleeding is definitely not the first thing I would think about when providing patient education, but it is possible, especially in women of childbearing age. Source: IN. Well, they're unprofessional for making women's period taboo topic by not being precise, bleeding from where, or just saying did you get something like your period today, or they could have said did you get red vaginal discharge, as my doctors always use the phrase vaginal discharge. UFC that we can bleed from anywhere. TBH, as a guy, I would still be asking the same question. The onus is on the doctor to make medical discussions clear to the patient. The doctor cleared it later, why should look out for it? He was nurse and kind of knew from what it looked like to me, but yeah, he should have used actual terms. I've had periods for over 15 years now. I think I can handle the word vaginal bleeding/discharge. I mean, you can 100% have bleeding from your nose, or rectum, or any small scratches or cuts you get, or just about anything else, due to being on blood thinners. I actually find it kind of strange that they were specifically asking you about vaginal bleeding, because while possible, it's definitely not the first thing that would come to mind if I were telling a female patient about side effects. Source: IN. Thank you. The doctor later said to look out blood in stool too. He really cleared things up. But yeah, the guy was a little naive. But he could have just been clearer. I mean, we are all adults and won't spontaneously combust upon saying vagina. Today I fucked up, 20 years ago, by making the school grade flamethrower. I'm 33 years old. Today I had one of those high school get-togethers and I was painfully reminded of my young me stupid ideas. Let me tell you a little about young me. I loved chaos and inventing stuff. The story begins with young terrorist me, having just discovered the amazing effects of deodorant and lighters. Back then cell phones weren't yet a thing, so us boys had to make up stuff to live through our 80-something years old philosophy teacher's class. We had the stereotypical paper planes, spitballs, moving chairs just before one would sit down, but no, young me craved more chaotic ways to entertain my friends and secure my place as the alpha fuck up, and believe me, I did just that. Us was even worse than usual. Half the classroom was asleep, Some of the kids were drawing, girls chatting about the Backstreet Boys and showing their cutouts from magazines when I suddenly got the brightest of ideas. Hey X, I called to my friend sitting right behind me, got a light. He was a smoker, part of a punk band who liked to play Nirvana songs during weekends. Sure, what you wanted for? He asked as he tossed me the lighter. I bet I can set this desk on fire. He laughed. Dude, are you stupid? That's pure Ryan. He mocked me. I didn't like his disbelief. Here's how I followed to fuck up and then some. I begin to empty my entire Axe deodorant on the surface and sides of my desk. I sit back a bit and turn the lighter on. The whole damn thing quickly caught on fire. I panicked. My friend panicked. The teacher sitting at her desk didn't even notice since she was blind as a bat and her glasses could very well have been a blunt weapon with the size of M. Dude, what the fuck? Put that out. Screams at me. Half the classroom is making audibly gasps and pointing to my flaming desk. Back then I didn't know it would just eventually die by itself, so I did what any smart kid would do. I grabbed the edge of the curtains that are on the windows close to my desk and start trying to put the fire out. Don't ask me what the curtain was made of, but I can tell you one thing, it was flammable as all hell. It went up in fire in a second flat. There was black smoke coming out of it. The teacher finally notices my flaming desk and now flaming curtains next to me and starts screaming to get out of the classroom. We rushed the hell out of there. I got suspended for a whole month and almost got kicked out of school. My friends, almost 20 or more years later, refused to let me forget about my pyromaniac ways. I can't blame them. Too long didn't read, learn how to make a makeshift flamethrower, almost got the classroom lit. Edit, no one was hurt. Save for the curtains, that is XD. We did this all the time in the changing room after pee and also chasing each other with those flamethrowers. Or flicking lit matches at each other. Or that time someone just reached over to set my worksheet on fire with a lighter. Truly fun times. Hey teacher, I can't give you my homework, it caught fire. Where's a free award when you need one? Tape sparkler to deodorant can. Light sparkler. Shoot can with pellet gun. Boom. Tape road flare to propane tank. Light road flare. Throw far away. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. This is important. Exclamation mark. Shoot it with a rifle. 7.62/223 fifths. 45 fifths .56. There's too many to list. Boom, but like, way bigger. Edit, please do not actually do this. Chaotic neutral at its finest. Almost started a forest fire while messing around with a makeshift flamethrower I made a few years ago. It was a really nice super soaker. Me and my friends attached a bent, metal coat hanger with a perpetually lit lighter on the end in front of the barrel. Filled the thing with 5 cans of women's hairspray from Walgreens we stabbed holes in. Thing shot visible flame at least 10 feet and lit a small tree on fire the first time I shot it, not in a parking lot but the woods like a fucking idiot. Me and my friends did some hood shit and basically jumped the tree, shoving it over and kicking it like a prison riot till it went out. Good memories. Today I fucked up by possible cannibalism and becoming blood brothers with my mom. So me and my mom love to cook, and today we were making cabbage soup like the good Polish people we are. However, apparently we both today forgot how to do anything, and chaos would ensue. For 2 tiny Polish peeps, cutting a whole cabbage is tough, and we recently bought a brand new, super sharp knife set. So when I'm in the midst of cooking some beef and I hear panicked mom swears, I rush over to see she cut her thumb. She ran to the sink to try and keep the blood away from the food. For some reason my brain decided that cutting that cabbage was super important, so I rushed to take her place. Immediately following suit, cutting my thumb the same way, the same place, the same hand. In a panic, mom grabbed my hand with her good hand, flinging blood towards the stove, getting in the broth and meat. "What are you doing?" I yelled, getting blood in the cabbages. Panic ensued as we tried to clean up the blood, and ourselves. Apparently when you cut your thumb however you bleed a lot, so between me and her, an unhealthy amount might have ended up in the soup. But are we gonna waste that? No. We covered the possible taste with spice and pretended like it never happened. Except after the chaos when my mom poked my thumb to hers. "What are you doing?" I asked. "We are already blood related." "Blood brothers," she whispered. Too long didn't read. Because of dumb comedic clumsiness, me and my mom get a bad amount of blood in soup, serve it to family cause we poor and became blood brothers. Side note, typing on a phone with one hand is hard. I wouldn't say you're cannibals. On the other hand, I hope there's no garlic in the soup. I chuckled at the end. Once when we were making tacos, my mom grated too fast and shaved a thin slice of skin off her thumb. While she was getting a band-aid, I tried in vain to find the little piece of skin in the bowl of cheese. I was horrified when mom wouldn't let me throw away the cheese and swore me to secrecy. I get it now. We were dirt poor. That was just before we lost our house, and tacos were really special. I had so much guilt over sneakily not eating cheese that night and watching my whole family eat it. I finally confessed to my sister about it and she replied, "How do you remember that? You weren't even there." And I'm like, "No, you weren't there." Suddenly we both realize and simultaneously cry out it happened more than once. Lol. That'd be a fun conversation starter. "Hey, I'm blood brothers with my mom." Hee. Stories like this make me so angry. Really get my blood boiling smile.